Sorry about that. Happening. Lots fucking with you. Oh, good. Because I'm about to. I almost hit him with the YouTube. Doing FGO. Oh, fuck yeah. Right around the corner.
What's up?
Stupid of me.
Irrigation. Gotta get the.
I got 73 minutes before I start. 73 minutes. Fuck the balls. What is happening to you, friend? Tawarudo. Do it right now. Move to Opera here. Use my code, Kepa. Yeah, if I find it.
All right, I gotta jump up. I'll see you guys.
では、前に出ます。
All right. Hello, chat. I just got the tweet live. Sorry, I'm running a little bit behind. I tried to go run my sprinklers again. You guys that have been paying attention to what I've been talking about IRL, I've been just having issues with my irrigation and my stupid fucking HOA. So it's been a thing. But yeah, the tweet is live. Do me the favor, go give it some love. You guys know the drill by now. And let me grab for you guys today's sauce. Adds the fuck? That's right. Okay. I think we're Gucci. Gucci. Gucci to gooey. I was too fast. Hello, everyone. Here is today's artwork. Do me a favor, go give the artist some love as well. Yeah, we are live again. Welcome. I have done many a thing, and I feel like I'm catching my tax season second wind. So this usually happens post every manic depressive episode that I have induced by tax season. But I re-examine myself, and I start thinking, and thinking is normally dangerous. You don't want to think too much, chat. But in my case, it helps. It actually helps me get through some of this, because I start to think about things, and I start to realize, yeah, shit's not as fucked as I think. System cools down after purging, pretty much. So, yeah, today's Friday. I now have a nice 2-day weekend, which is irregular. That is, as opposed to the 1-day weekend I've been getting. So it's definitely appreciated that I now have a full weekend to rest and recharge. And outside of being super sleep deprived in the early part of the week, I've actually gotten good sleep the rest of the week. So I'm actually not super tired right now. I'm actually feeling kind of good. I did feel a little bit tired at work, but I had to have a second cup of coffee, so that's probably why I have this false high at this point. But yep, we are in a Tiamat waiting room at this point. I told you guys, especially if you guys watched the video or you watched me record it, in the guide for the upcoming event, that it was very likely that we got the pre-campaign on the 21st. Well, that's today, and we didn't get Tiamat. But that could also happen tonight at reset, and then, according to them, it's the 21st. Or it could also be a case of maybe the pre-campaign on NA is going to be a little bit shorter. There's technically nothing that would limit that. And we still have CBC kind of running actively at the current point in time. As you guys can see, I'm actually doing the point node because of that. Because I am basically behind on the points out of everything. Which, thankfully, this node is very easy to run. In fact, I probably should change who I'm bonding in the backline because of it. Do you need to redeem anyone from the Evocation Festival? I redeemed all 3. So if you already have all of them, you don't need to redeem any of them. If you already have even just one unit, you will already qualify for some of the missions. They did the same thing with Evocation where it didn't pop to reset. Yeah, and I wasn't expecting that, but it just is how they ran it, so. Yeah, and I was cautioning all of you guys about, don't necessarily just go out and spend all of your stuff on the coins right away. Look at some of the upcoming ones and determine if you'll have enough. Because you're not just gonna, be swimming necessarily in leaves. You will have a lot, but the coins take a lot, so. Guys, after work hours, you're not legally required to think anymore? No. This is the time that I actually want to think. So in a weird way, chat, this is usually, mentally when I'm most active. Is, post-work. If I'm feeling dead after work, that is a really bad sign. That is man, my day was shit. It just overwhelmed me. Because that does happen sometimes. But usually, like I said, this is I'm a night owl, chat. I absolutely always have been, always probably will be. I work way better in the evening rather than in the morning, where I'm just super tired and don't want to talk to anybody and I'm just hating life. So it's way better to operate in the evening for me. Spent a lot on cats in Kentucky. Nice. So let me make sure I'm seeing the YouTube side of things. Okay, just Yugi and Mephisto. Hope you guys are doing good. I missed the story requirement to get shooting. Oh no, it's all good. I thought you were asking because of the missions. So it's like, in theory, you just have to have like one of them like leveled up. That's it. That's all you need in order to do it. So it was really funny too, because I told you guys, I think Wednesday, that I had the irrigation guy out, and he had seemingly fixed my sprinkler problem, but then I tested it and the sprinklers just weren't still running. So then at lunch yesterday, I called him back out again after testing it numerous times and not being able to get it to run. And as he showed up, he wasn't able to get out to my house until about 5 o'clock. And as he showed up, like he had told me to go ahead and like test it and see like what it would do. And so I did that, and he showed up literally as it was running perfectly fine. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Why does it only work when he's here? And I've realized it's that the city doesn't have pressure. And so that was yesterday. Today I came home, tried to do it at like 6 o'clock, like 6:15, 6:20-ish around when I got home, and it didn't work. And I was like, what the heck, right? Like why is it not working? It worked yesterday at this time. So then right here before streaming, it's actually one of the reasons I'm a couple minutes late. I turned it on and it worked. So I have it running, and it's going to run all for like another hour outside because I need my lawn watered. But it made me laugh because the answer is clearly that it is not an issue with my system. It is an issue entirely with the city. Like 110%. This is not a me issue. This is the city, and they just fucking suck. That's really all it is. Time to get a pressure gauge? I don't know if I could. I assume that's something I could probably get installed, but it would serve, the only purpose that it would serve would basically be to tell me that there is no pressure, and that'd be obvious for me trying to turn my sprinklers on, right? I guess in theory, if I wasn't sure why the sprinklers weren't coming on, then that would be it. But we've addressed pretty much every other issue, so. Failing infrastructure in the US? Never? Yeah. Oh yeah, I actually haven't even touched my missions in that regard. I already have all of them done. I think I do. Whee! Okay, so I have them all done by default. Looks like we have complete any Ember Gathering quest 3 times. That's easy enough. Complete free quests on a main story map 3 times. Also easy enough. Because like once I'm done with Chaldea Boys, I'll do that. The problem is going to be that there's only 4 days left in Chaldea Boys, so. But it should end before the new event begins. So we should have at least a couple of days in between this event and the next one. But it is definitely interesting that keeps happening. And I'm going to let that kind of ride right up and kind of see, like, do I need to actually pop an apple? Because, as you guys know, we are getting close to another lotto. I don't think I've necessarily built up my supply as well from the prior lotto. So I'm going to make sure that I have as many as I possibly can. Just so I don't have to spend money if I don't have to. Lets you know if you need to call someone or just wait. Oh, listen, I'm pretty sure at this point, if I were to call the city would just laugh at me. And they'd be like, of course it's not working. And I'd be like, why the fuck not? And then they'd be like, because we're literally doing maintenance on it. Chat, they've been doing maintenance on it for like 2 years. And that's like, I think one of the biggest things that pisses me off in general about America, and I love America, one of the biggest things that pisses me off, and always will, is quite literally how we handle our construction projects and any sort of like maintenance to any sort of like governmental things feels like it takes forever. It feels like there's no actual like supervisor overseeing it, and that everything has to get like approved by committee. And I'm like, I get that, but holy crap, it is not streamlined at all. Like, for instance, there has been one of my routes to work, there's been construction on it for 2 years. It is just a dinky little road. It does not need to take that long, but they have stretched it out to make it take that long. If like this were a private project, it could have been done in like under 2 weeks. Okay. So the fact that it's like, it's something that's taking them 2+ years is just ridiculous to me. has to do more with billing the job though, and estimating and stuff. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I assume they like my understanding of it is probably that they have project stages, and every single time they hit like the end of a stage, they have to then go and secure more funding from the local government, and then it has to be like inspected to make sure that it was done according to what it needs to be done, right? Like, and so like it just, I think it causes this major like dead time where they have to wait for like the committee to convene and for an inspection to happen and all of that, and for them to come back and render a yes, you did a good job, here is more money. And it's like, I get that, but also holy shit, why do we not have a way of like expediting that, or having somebody that acts as functionally the producer that oversees it and acts as the eyes of the committee on their behalf? That is not what I wanted to do, but we'll still try with that. So Tiamat is out today? No, we don't know. It may be, but it may not be. They're outsourcing the materials, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just that's the issue with local government in general and construction in general, especially because in America here we operate by usually it's like what's the term? It's essentially like the smallest bidder, right? So it's like the person who is yep, there you go. So it failed because I put the Oberon burst on the wrong person. Usually the person that gets the contract is the person that bids the least. They're like, hey, it's a government contract. Whoever can do it the cheapest gets the job. And it's like, well, sure, you get it the cheapest, but guess what you don't get? You don't get quality that way. And that's why, like, some of the roads you'll see, like, an example I can give you is we had a road that was relatively new. It was paved in the 90s. And that road, like, I want to say maybe like 15 years later, like, so back in 2005, needed to be paved because it had potholes and stuff at that point. They have had to repave that road like 5 times now since then. So how did the road last 15 years? And then now it lasts like 3 years since then. Not even. So it's like something there is wrong, right? Like the quality is just not there, because in that time period, they're still like patching potholes and stuff. So it's like the original road lasted a lot longer than whatever the crap they've been trying to repave it with. Which tells me it's like whoever got the job to do the subsequent thing did not do it well, right? They just kind of did it in the cheapest way possible. Shouldn't the contractor not get paid if they take too long or perform shoddy work? Yes. But that's why it's like hurry up and wait. So you'll see them and it'll be like, let's say a construction project, chat, has 4 stages that need to be completed. And like this is after they get the bid. Okay. So like they will complete the first project and then they will have to like go and wait for the inspection. And then they will complete the next project and then they will have to wait for inspection. And then they will complete the next project and they will have to wait for inspection. So like, I think while this graph doesn't make it look like it, what if instead the line going vertically was the amount of time it actually took them? And this is the waiting process, is the arrow. That's what it feels like it actually is like they're very quickly able to do the next step, but then they end up just bogged down waiting on shit. So they're not the delay in a weird way. Also, you could split the 4 projects steps into 15. Yeah, probably, right? Like, I'm simplifying it just for explaining purposes, but it's definitely an issue. And yeah, I'm sure there's some contractors that are late. They don't deliver quality work. They have to go back and redo it, yada, yada, yada. I was writing something? I see. But yeah, so we're kind of just in the waiting period here for NA. On the JP side of things, though, chat, Anime Japan starts tonight. And so for me, I haven't really talked about this, but this will... I don't know why that did so little damage. I must have forgotten the cuckoo buffs. But literally, it's a like JP. We have Anime Japan, and so like I said, I haven't talked about this, but this is probably going to be a short stream because Trubs is going to be going live here pretty quickly to cover Anime Japan. So we're just doing FGO tonight. It's going to be simple, straightforward, yada yada yada. Yep. Yeah, it's starting. Raid him? I will. That's I don't get to raid Trubs very often, and it's very rare that like something he does ever like overlaps with my time slot. So yeah, it's my way of paying it forward. You have a few friends there. Oh, nice. I wonder how many OG FGO English are still left streaming FGO. How many OG FGO English are still left streaming FGO? I mean, I guess it depends on whether or not you consider me OG, because I was not there at the very beginning of it. But if you consider that, if you consider me to be OG, I'm the only one. I'm the only one that's still around in this regard. I mean, year one player. Year one player, I don't know. Because, like, there's definitely people that are year one players that I don't know about, right? And I'm not super familiar with every content creator. So some people may be around from that time period where they have been playing that long. Streaming that long, maybe not. They actually still messed this composition up. I don't know how. Toa's one? Yeah, but Toho doesn't stream FGO anymore. I would say you are. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think there's very many if you're talking about the original streamers of the game. If you're talking about original players of the game, then yes, there's probably still quite a bit. I would be honest with you, and I would say FGO probably has a much higher retention value for some of its older players than it does for some of its newer players. Because I do think a lot of people get in, but then I think the same thing that kind of happens to a lot of people whenever they start a gacha game happens. And I think there is always some attrition value there where like some people will continue to play the game. Others will get burnt out very quickly. Others will just realize the sheer like monumental undertaking that they're embarking upon. And then like when that kind of becomes apparent, they'll be like, whoa, this is going to take a long time. And so I think that also scares people off. Caldigers? Actually, yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Caldigers is definitely someone. He is definitely one of the OGs in that regard. Although I don't know if Caldigers streamed back in the day. I know Musaki definitely made videos, but I think he was newer to live streaming a couple of years ago, if memory serves. But he's definitely somebody that's at least been around for that long. Sunk cost fallacy for the vets. Yeah. It's just a natural occurrence, right? And I do think even still there are also some vets that like, yeah, that they've done everything they feel like in the game and they've moved on. I don't really fault anyone for moving on from FGO. I think like especially as we've had a game now that's been active for 10 years, even if you look at an A, we're going on 8, right? So at that point, I can't really fault anyone for quitting the game. That's a long period in time, an actual like actual lifetime, right? People's lives change. People absolutely have different priorities and different valuations of things. So I don't really put that on anybody for like calling it quits after several years of it, right? I was gonna say Zev, I can't remember the last time I saw him stream it. And to be fair, chat, I think that's because to some degree, content creators have given up on FGO. And they also shouldn't be faulted for that. I'm dead serious. Look at my rant about the Pilgrimage Festival yesterday, right? Like, why was I ranting about that? Well, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really harm anybody that they change that name, except for content creators. And it's like, that is unfortunately the relationship we have with Aniplex. It just sucks, and it's not good. And as somebody that has streamed other games from time to time, been a part of other content creators from time to time, content creation programs from time to time, like, it is such a night and day experience to find a developer / publisher that actually appreciates its content creators. It is a world of difference in terms of tone, in terms of support, in terms of feeling wanted and desired. I can't stress this enough, but I truly, as an FGO content creator, feel like I am reviled by not only the devs, but also this community at times. Like, and I don't mean like you guys, I mean like the greater community as a whole. I think the greater FGO community as a whole tends to hate its content creators, and it doesn't like do us any favors in that regard. So we're kind of beset on all sides. So I don't really, again, blame anybody for being like, yeah, why would I stick around here? Like, and this is my own personal analysis of it, right? Like, the entire reason that I have stuck around at this point is because I do truly have a passion for the game and I love it. But I can't say the same for everybody, right? Some people have different motivations and goals for why they do things, and I don't speak for everybody in that regard. I am my own person, and I have my own motivations and goals, and they do not sync up necessarily with everybody else's. I'm starting to think they might have Tiamat be at Lilim Harlot's launch and have Draco come a week later. They could do that, but I don't think they will. I think... So, look at it objectively speaking. What would it require for them to shift Tiamat backward and then Draco backward? That would require work. What would be the benefit? Well, they wreck our Clairvoyance. But what's the benefit of that? You only want to do this because, chat, this leads to this. You only want to do this if this leads to this. And this doesn't. Delaying things does not lead to more money. It does not, like yes, it wrecks our Clairvoyance, but it doesn't make more people roll. If anything, you could argue it might make less people roll. So like, I don't see them doing that because it's a bunch of work for no benefit, right? It's this for none of that. Oh, God, when are we getting the second season of this, chat? I absolutely need the second season of this. Hello, Cody. How's it going? JP devs would have to adjust things for it, and they probably don't want to. Yeah, and like that's the other thing to keep in mind too, chat, is that the actual like software and coding engineers, they're over in Japan. Like, the NA staff is not that. So this is extra work that JP has to do to maintain NA. I mean, I guess that's what they always do, so it's something that they know that they have to do for certain things. But I also think, like, a change like that, for them to incur more workload, would have to have some sort of potential benefit. And I'm not sure that does, right? Like, that's how I usually try to mentally approach that, is like, someone poses a question to me and I internally think, how would the devs feel about this? What would be the benefit that the devs would gain if they made such a choice? And if I can't think of anything, it doesn't mean that there isn't. It just means that I can't think of anything. And if I can't think of anything, it's probably unlikely, right? Because like at that point, you're kind of sitting there and you're going like, okay, so if I can't think of it, obviously one of the main things that I would think of is money. So that means that they would have to gain some sort of other intangible benefit. And yeah, I'm not a fly on their wall. I can't see why they make the decisions that they actually make. But I think like money is definitely a major motivating factor, as well as several other things for maybe why they might want to do it. So if I can't think of anything within those parameters, it means that it's something pretty off the wall if they actually do it. Like, I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm saying it's unlikely. Odd jobs around the house for money. Let's see. What of my full-time career before her banner? I mean, hey, hopefully you have your full-time career before her banner. Then you have money. Does dislike Clairvoyance NA's players have? Yes. And you could look no further than Albert. Albert has made such comments multiple times. He's tried to make claims like, oh, we don't hate it. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. The only reason he's tried to make claims otherwise now is because the first thing he said was the truth, chat. The second thing is, wait, the community doesn't like that I keep saying that. That's all it is. Alba, thank you for the resub. Appreciate it, my dude. How you doing today? Thank you for the big 5-7. CAD merch when? There actually is CAD merch. I just haven't gotten the chance to do most of it because, for the most part, I have always been inundated with various other things, including YouTube, and never really had the time to do it. So, university is destroying my ass. Understandable. It do that sometimes. They want their announcements to cause excitement. It's harder to do that on an A. Right. And so this is why I actually have said for a long time that NA, aka Aniplex, NA's approach is wrong. Here's the thing, chat. When I say NA's approach is wrong, does that mean that Aniplex is wrong? I'm going to throw the NA team a bone here. This may be something that's out of their hands. So, like, I've suspected for a while that I may have somebody on the NA team that watches me from time to time. I don't know if that's true or not. But if I do, I want them to know I don't hate them. I just wish they would do a little bit better. But I also understand that some of that may be out of their hands. And the reason why could be that this could be getting dictated from on high. This could be getting dictated to them from Aniplex of Japan. Could be getting dictated to them from Type Moon. Could be getting dictated to them from Sony. You name it. Okay? So, at the end of the day, their strategy is wrong. But the reason that it is wrong is because Clairvoyance does exist. And the more they try to fight it, chat, let me give you guys an example of this. I am a Floridian. That means occasionally I suffer from this little thing known as an oceanic death spiral. This little swirly boy that kind of floats on over to my state and starts just going constantly. So, let's say I am dealing with hurricane force winds. Did they? You got a link for that? Also, if I am dealing with hurricane force winds, what should I do, chat? Should I try to put up a barrier and try to stop the wind? Or should I try to take advantage of the wind? Now, in this case, maybe this is a bad analogy, right? Hurricane force winds are probably on a wall because you're going to get destroyed otherwise. But I guess instead of a hurricane, let's look at it from just the perspective of normal wind. Should you try to stop the wind? Or should you try to use a sail? Right? Which is better? Which gets you something of value? Okay, so where was this announced? Anime Japan Day 1 is what I was told. Oh, then this, I mean, this is from a Bandai Namco stream, it looks like. I guess Mr. Chubbs is already live. I mean, maybe this is true. I'll take it with a grain of salt until I hear or see some sort of more definitive proof. And the reason why, chat, forgive me, but there's a whole lot of 2024 copyright down here. I'm not saying this is fake, but I am saying it could be. It would be very easy to be like, blip, and just slap a fucking date on it. But yeah, like, until like more people corroborate this, I'll just take it with a grain of salt. But is this surprising to me that this game would come out this year? No. In fact, I being honest with you guys, if Fate Extra Record doesn't come out in 2025, it's a fucking disappointment. So it is what it is. Yeah, Steam is definitely good if that's true. Anyways, back to the original point. So, if you are dealing with wind, you can build a wall, but the wind is going to go over your wall. Or you can choose to build a sail. And the sail is going to catch the wind. It is going to, I'm leading you somewhere, chat. It is going to lean into the wind. It is literally going to take the prevailing force and not fight it, but take advantage of it. That wind is clairvoyance, chat. Their strategy is build a wall. It's not going to work. You can't stop the wind. The wind will just go somewhere else. So all you can do is try to harness it. That's it. This is why I keep saying their strategy is wrong. They're trying to create hype. They're trying to create buzz, but they're trying to play stupid and pretend that nobody knows about any of this stuff. When what they should be doing is doing A, announcement, and B, hyping it by trying to lean into it and announce it ahead of time rather than waiting till the last possible second, pretending it absolutely doesn't exist before that point. They should be trying to build hype leading up to a release to gain maximum effect. The marketing strategy for NA and global is wrong because they're trying to market it in the same way that they market JP, but it doesn't work because JP exists. And that is the truth. It is painfully obvious to see. And this is why, like I said, I'm going to throw them a bone. They might know that themselves. NA might know that, but they may be stuck using the strategy that JP has said they have to use, right? So that just may be what it is. And I'm not talking about like, oh, they need to like come out here and like massively spoiler us. But the example I've given you guys before is like, hey, prior to LB4's release, do you know what they should have done? They should have like a month out been like, hey, our Arjuna altar is coming. And they should have like released a like Chaldea break room involving him. They should have like showcased and done the video of his move set. and tried to build that hype. And an example of this, I'm going to give them credit. You guys know I don't normally do this. MiHoYo and Genshin Impact. What did MiHoYo do when they realized they couldn't get rid of their leakers? They started just literally advertising stuff before the leakers did. They knew they had to get out in front of it. Same thing. Same thing with an AFGO. They have to get out in front of it. If they don't get out in front of it, they will never be able to harness the wind. They will always be on the bad side of that. Always. And there's nothing they can really do about it if it is being dictated from on high. Like I said, it's a problem. It's something that's always going to hurt the NA server, and I don't really know what they can do about it in that regard. Mr. Creamy, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it, my dude. How's your stream? How's monster hunting? I was able to get on a little bit before stream, but I guess I think when I looked, it was just Darty was in a quest and not you, and I couldn't join off of you guys. It was an amazing stream. Nice. Yeah, and I was like sitting there. I had my soup in front of me anyway, so I was like, I'm not sure I'd be good to be on stream, but otherwise I would have jumped in with you. Do something with content creators. Biss, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, okay? But it's the same deal. Like, tell Albert that instead of just going with Hollow Live, they should be looking at people that actually play their game. And I say this, Ina plays their game, but Ina plays JP. Now, it's definitely interesting if you can get Ina to play NA on the regular and have her do streams, but they can't. But at the end of the day, if that's all you do, this actually shows a disdain for every other content creator. This tells you you're only going after commercial people that are well established. So you're basically saying the content creators for your own game aren't good enough. Pekora plays? Yeah. And that's what they should do. They should have Ina and Pekora, but I don't know that they could get the two in on one thing like that, because that's NA and JP. I think they have done some cross area collabs within HoloLive, so you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm sure there's probably a lot of legalese and red tape there for them. I got you, Cream. He's only admitted to looking at Reddit and Twitter, etc. Yeah. And the one thing I'll say, he can not admit it all he wants, but either Albert or somebody on his staff definitely seemed to tell him, because one of the anniversaries, he made a really snide remark about how people thought they should lean into it. Like I've been saying for years. So like I said, there have been a couple of times where I felt like somebody on the staff must have watched me, but I don't know. I don't care. Like, I don't hate the NA staff. I never will, because I understand it's their job. And some of that just may be out of their control, and I'll never know what. Not without talking to them. Of which, again, I would like to cordially invite them. If they ever want to talk to me, I would love to talk with them, and I would let them approve the questions ahead of time. I would not ambush them. I would not try to make them look bad or anything like that. But I doubt they would ever condone or consent to anything like that. So, how is JP content creating for FGO? What content? I mean, anytime there's something new, sure, it's fine, but like ask yourself right now if there's a whole lot of content getting made for JP. The answer to that's no. like quite literally, tonight with Anime Japan is their first major instance of content in a while. So, did you take them to Arby's or Olive Garden or even Waffle House? I would take them to whatever restaurant they wanted and let them order whatever they wanted for under $200. But I'm not paying more than $200. They can fuck off. Take them to Arby's and get a meat mountain? Jesus, what is that name? Is that an actual thing? Like, I can't tell you the last time I've been to Arby's. I think the last time I even had Arby's was back in, like, high school. Yes, it's a thing? It's a giant stack of meat. Oh, God. Is it good? I feel like that's the next question that has to be asked is it good? And I feel like, unfortunately, for better or worse, the answer is no. No, it is not. Take John Lesengle out to food. It depends on the Arby's. Yeah, okay, so that's always the case, right, chat? Any chain restaurant, fast food or not, any chain restaurant, how good it is proportional to its management. Okay? If the management is lazy or uncaring about their employees, that restaurant is ass. If the management is good and actually takes care of their employees, that restaurant is good. 100%. This is a direct correlation every freaking time. And this is exactly why you will see some people that are like, nah, dude, that restaurant is straight ass. And then other people are like, what are you talking about? It's amazing. It's because the person that thinks it's amazing has a really well-run one. The person that thinks it's ass has a really shit-run one. So it's like you can go to a Domino's down here, you can go to a Domino's up in Ohio, you can go to a Domino's out in California, and you will get 3 different experiences. Same thing with a McDonald's. Same thing with a Del Taco. I feel called out. Why should you feel called out? Like, I'm literally not singling you out. The truth about Arby's Meat Mountain sandwich? I mean, the chicken looks really good. So, let me go ahead and say this. I would eat this. This looks really good. There's even some cheese mixed in here. I'm not sure about the cheddar mixed in with all of this, because cheddar's got a pretty overwhelming flavor. But I would eat this. Here's the problem, chat. Allow me to put an asterisk by this, because I would eat this if it looked like this. And y'all know it doesn't. Y'all know when you get the meat mountain that it's probably yay high. And it's probably day old meat. And there's no way that the breading on the chicken looks this good. I guarantee you it is half the size. It is a much shittier version of it. And it tastes infinitely worse than how this looks. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me. I mean, chat, probably for scale. Here is the size of a human fist. Well, actually, maybe not. I'd be willing to bet the size of a human fist is probably this big next to it. So it's it's big, but it's not so big that it should be all 3 of your meals for the day. Also dripping in grease. Yeah, probably, because there's no way in heck that you have what is this, chicken? Looks like that's sliced chicken. That honestly, this in here looks like it's some kind of pastrami or something. this has got to be pork. And then there's bacon at the top. I think like all of this is pork. This is like the pastrami. This is like more sliced chicken. And this is like fried chicken. And this is bacon. Roasted turkey somewhere in there. Okay, that could be what it is. This could be turkey instead. I didn't even think about that. The McDonald's cheeseburger fiasco, the more you see more of the bun than the actual burger. Yes, 100%. And I'm sorry. Chat, do you know what I think about this? I think every fast food chain in America should be sued. Or false advertisement. If you can't make it look like this reasonably, you should get sued. Sandwich theorizing was not on my bingo sheet, but I'm here for it. Listen, I'm not queso. I can't guess every single hamburger in the world based off of its original appearance. They should be like Japan in that regard, Nodders. Yeah. Like I get, like, so chat, if they were to make something like this for in restaurant, it should look like this. If they're going to, like, package this up for, like, a delivery or a drive-through order, I don't think it needs to look exactly like this, right? Because it's naturally going to go in some sort of container or some sort of, like, wrap, and that's going to, like, compress it some. So it's like, I'm okay with that. But yeah, no, if you're going to advertise it like this, I better fucking get that. I better fucking get that. And I actually think that is a easy to win lawsuit. Easy to win lawsuit if one lawyer would pick it up. I think that is a make a lawyer famous lawsuit because it is so blatantly obvious that the product that you're receiving is not nearly the same standard quality. And I'd be willing to bet you could class action the crap out of that. And you could say, hey, you know, they would defend it being like, well, of course it's not that way. It never would look that way. And then you would go, yeah, but it doesn't look that way ever. Nowhere will it ever look like this. No person will ever get served this. Ever. So it quite literally is false advertisement. Chat, it's like, it is the equivalent of getting catfished on a dating profile. Right? You see a girl, she's got a rockin' set of tits, she's got a nice ass, she's got a slim waist, she's got a pretty face, and then you meet the girl, and instead, it is somebody that is like morbidly obese. They absolutely have like pimple marks all over their face, and the only thing that is the exact same as the image is maybe the hair color. That's it. It's George, yeah, or it's George, right? Like, so it's the exact same thing to me. It's like you put forth the idea that this is what you're getting, and then you don't get it. Starbucks lawsuit due to a hot drink. I know like McDonald's ran afoul of that back in the early 2000s, and that's why they have to put caution things on all of their stuff. And then I think Starbucks tried to defend themselves, if I remember correctly, with it's coffee, of course it's hot. But that was also the defense that McDonald's used, so they're going to lose that. Because McDonald's lost. As long as it tastes good. I can agree with that, Deadlier. I just think that they should instead be advertising it to look how it looks. And that if they cannot make the food to that standard, then they shouldn't be advertising it that way. Because that would stop the Arby's, McDonald's, Taco Bells, and you name it of the world from trying to make their food look way more delicious than it actually is. And then still charge you a price as if it was delicious. This is fucking absurd. And, you know, I say that this may cost more than that. Did In-N-Out have advertising? In-N-Out? I mean, like, so here is an In-N-Out burger. I just like one of the first images I pulled off the web. Like, I'm gonna give them credit. Like, this looks pretty close to probably how you receive it. I think the most false thing here is that the application of the sauce is somehow this even, or that the tomato is the exact same size as the bun. Like, that's not realistic. But this, like, it feels like the patties are at least reasonably close to that. And an example I can give you is here's an actual image. So, like, this at least doesn't feel like it's super far off. Right? If anything, there's just more cheese here, is really all it is. I feel a little bit bad that I didn't try In-N-Out when I was in Vegas. I mean, it's like eating at a McDonald's. Like, I mean, maybe a better McDonald's, but it's still kind of a McDonald's, right? Like, it's just their form of fast food. Now this looks objectively worse. Right? Like, I'm not saying that looks like, oh my god, I would never eat that. No, I'm just saying like the presentation here looks way fucking worse. But let's see. Yeah, okay, so chat, here's your meat mountain. Here's your meat mountain, right? Oh, hold on. Let me not pull that over. I think there's a little difference. Just a little. I mean, honestly, this still looks good to me. I would still eat this, but like a little bit of a difference. For starters, I can tell you guys something pretty obvious. This looks like this is a toasted bun. This doesn't. Like, ain't no way that's toasted. And this is not an outlier, chat. Okay, now I want to see what the price is. It's $18 as of 3 months ago. What the f... Chat, if you're eating at a fast food restaurant for over $15 a person, that's not fast food anymore. Because fast food is supposed to be cheap. Like, at that point, that is a sit-down restaurant price. With inflation, that's $20 now easily. Actually, apparently inflation's been coming down. So I'm hopeful for that. They were saying, I guess, the price of, I think it's like both eggs and gas are both down quite a bit. Outside of the US, that's not a bad price for fast food. I mean, like, chat, I still remember paying like $5 for a object that I'm paying like $11 for now at McDonald's. So, and at one point I think it was valued at $13. McDonald's actually pulled the price back when I think they got some backlash. Gas prices started rising again. Oof. Yeah, I know. I actually just filled up today, and it was gas was like $2.90 or something today, which is the first time I've seen it hit $2 in years. $5 foot long when Subway was decent, right? I know the meal I get was $8 something. Now it's almost $12. Yeah, like to me, it seems like most fast food prices have risen by like 50%, which is fucking absurd. Because even inflation doesn't really match that. MC is super expensive in my country. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, that's not bad, Koji. 359 by me. Yeah. So, and you know, again, like I can't speak to people outside the states, right? But in the U.S., for instance, like different states themselves have basically different prices because some of them add like tourism stuff on it. Some people add shipping stuff into it, and there'll just be a lot of like additional taxes on top of what the actual price is, and so it really does like jack up your price per gallon. And there's also, I guess, like a distance factor there too. Like the further you are from any district, I want to say it's like refinery, but I think it's like any distribution point for the gas can make it cost more. Yeah, the double down. Yeah. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, chat. Not the best picture there, but like behold how they present it. And then behold actuality. Wait, what is oh my god, what is this? What is this cursed shit? What the actual oh my god, please. That can't be real, right? Like, because it says chicken cheese there. Yeah, I did see this has been a thing for a couple of like cooking YouTubers, but some of them made their own double downs and they were all like way better than the one KFC made. But to be fair, like they kind of have the advantage of like being able to spruce it up with like different sauces and stuff if they want, as opposed to like a set recipe that a commercial chain has put out there. Yeah, like to a degree, this is probably pretty good, but it's also probably kind of overkill. Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, so apparently Korea came up with their own version of it that's unique to them. And they have a like an actual like fire double down is what it's called apparently. So it's like a spicy one. Like, so if you like spicy food, that looks pretty good. But like, holy shit, dude. It's just literally what I'm seeing on like Google search right now. All meat, no bun. Is that a tomato? I think so. Which is hilarious because there's a tomato and then there's ketchup on top of it. So it's like, then what's the point of the tomato? I guess it's a texture thing at that point to make you feel like you're eating something in between it. Like, it's in that regard, I think it's kind of a novel concept because, like, even if you look at the not that, even if you look at like the normal double down, right? There's like some cheese, some sauce in there, and literally like bacon. So it's all meat is what you're eating. Wait, what? Apparently, this was a thing in Canada. Well, I think it's an interesting concept because it's basically two fried like chicken fillets there, and then they just stick whatever the heck they want in between it. It's different. Yeah, I mean, like maybe to some people this looks really good. To me, this looks disgusting. It's like, is Popeyes good in 2025? I eat at Popeyes pretty regularly, about once a week. Like, I'm not gonna say it's the best thing for me. It's probably terrible that I keep eating it, but it's like depends on the Popeyes. If you go to a well-run Popeyes, it's good. If you go to a bad-run Popeyes, it's bad. And this is the exact same thing for KFC. So like, chat, I have not had KFC in like 20 years because every KFC I've been to, like in my area, is just really poorly run. Always has been. KFC is better international than in the US. Oh, no. Chat, allow me to make a bold claim. A extremely bold claim. Every single US-based fast food chain is better overseas than it is in America. And do you want to know why? There's an easy explanation for why. Because it's American. So in America, they know that they can get away with a lot of crap and people will still buy it. Whereas overseas, they know they are the new brand, they're the new kid on the block, and they need to establish a foothold. So they actually try a whole lot more than they do in America. In America, they already have brand recognition. They don't need to do anything. They just need to come out with something like the Double Down every now and then, and people go like, oh, what? And like, we're the easiest people to please. As opposed to overseas, they try to like actually custom tailor like everything to that market. So an example of this, if you go look at McDonald's overseas, like in Japan, McDonald's actually for a long time was a sit-down restaurant in Japan that was way more upscale because that's what worked in the Japanese market. So Japan actually just straight up has a better version of McDonald's than America does because that's what works in their market. So you're saying they just get lazy in the US? Yes, 100%. Chat, the idea is in shitification. Once you have a company that establishes market dominance, it gets worse every time, without a doubt, 100%, because it's dominant and it doesn't need to try as hard to maintain that dominance. It just needs to subsist. So that's all it has to do. Whereas if it's trying to go into a new market and become dominant, it has to really try. And then once it becomes dominant there, it subsists. That's all that happens. Consider KFC and Christmas in Japan. Yeah, Japan basically has a lot better version of all the American stuff. Popeyes or Jollibee? I have never eaten at a Jollibee, so I couldn't tell you. I've heard of it, but I've never eaten at it. Now, if you had asked me Popeyes or Bojangles, the answer is Bojangles. Do they have good Pizza Hut too? Probably. If Pizza Hut's even over there. Like, I know Taco Bell has gone international. I don't know if Pizza Hut has. Yeah, I've only ever eaten at a Bojangles once, but the experience that I had was positive. There is a Bojangles somewhere near me, but it's far away, so it's like it's not something I could eat at regularly. Like I'd have to drive like an hour and a half to get to it. Church's is big in the Caribbean. We used to have a Church's chicken down here, but it closed. Like as far as I know, every Church's in Florida is gone. Is there a Jolly Bee near me? No, I can look. Apparently. Like not like close, but like within a drivable distance. So it's like I'd have to go out of my way to go to it, but definitely something I'll keep my eye out for. I mean, Chad, is it basically just it's also fast food fried chicken? I think the only thing that's weird here for me is the just normal French fries. Because the only, well, I guess I'm used to like Popeyes that has the like peppery fries, and I think KFC does too, don't they? That being said, this mashed potatoes and gravy looks gross compared to Popeyes. Is that just white rice? Is that all that is? Like I mean, like there's nothing bad about white rice. I'm just like, I hope there's some sort of offering that's more than just white rice. People drink their gravy? Interesting. The bone-in chicken comes with gravy as dip. That's smart. Like, more of these places should be absolutely developing gravy, because gravy is so freaking. There's adobo rice. Kind of odd. I'm not sure that's a interesting pairing. Like it's not that it's interesting. It is interesting. I'm not sure it's a good pairing with the rest of it, but maybe, right? Like, since you whisper the Japanese Domino's commercial. Oh God. Wait, where did you whisper me? Y'all gotta start sending me this stuff on Discord. Oh, Twitch? I'd never look at my Twitch DMs. Whataburger and Dairy Queen have good gravy for tenders. I haven't eaten at a Whataburger since college. And unfortunately, the one I ate at there like wasn't that good. But everyone swears by Whataburger, so I just assumed the Whataburger that I had was pretty bad. Dairy Queen. I have not seen a Dairy Queen built in the last 20 years. You know what? I'll go even further. I haven't seen a Dairy Queen built since before the turn of the millennium. So I think that's the issue. Like, it doesn't mean that it's bad, right? I have not seen one that's like even remotely modern.
What? 新メニューのご注文ですね。生地生地生地生地生地生地生地生地臭い臭い臭い臭い臭いオーブンオーブンオーブンオーブン
Chat, compared to McDonald's Japan, this is awful.
オーブンオーブンオーブンオーブンできたクワトロコケココクワトロポポポポ
I think it's just the style looks so jank to me. Like it's kind of grotesque. Like this does not make me want to go to Domino's. That's it. That being said, pork on a pizza I feel like could be good. I feel like America needs to like diversify its toppings at this point. Does this just keep going? Wait, what were those flavors? Yakitori and meatballs, charcoal grilled chicken, tandoori chicken scattered spices, and barbecue garlic chicken. That's got to be the Hawaiian one. Like, this feels like it's a weird cross between animation and Monty Python. But this still does not want to make me actually go to Domino's. Like, maybe this may be something where it's like maybe this resonates with the Japanese, but I don't think it does. I think even the Japanese probably look at this and probably go like, that's kind of weird. What am I looking at? I don't know. But that is definitely odd. 101,000. Hold on. Yeah, meanwhile, chat, McDonald's Japan. This is so much better than any modern McDonald's commercial anywhere else. Like, it's wholesome. Like, it's so much better. Whoever handles McDonald's Japan's advertisements deserves a raise too, because like they've had several over the past year that have like popped off. Till the artist got a hold of it. I mean, do they still use Ronald McDonald? No, I'm pretty sure Ronald McDonald's retired at this point. Like, I'm sure they pull him back for certain things, but Western Twitter got so mad over that wholesome ad. Listen, Western Twitter will purge itself in like 20 years. Because if you're angry about that wholesomeness, you're not reproducing. Like, you are not having kids. That's too long. I give it 5. I mean, hey, I'm just saying, like, that's like the shelf life on it, because there's just no way they are going to continue that habit, because they're going to grow older and they're going to realize I am just a sad, miserable, lonely fuck that's angry at everything. McDonald's needs to bring back Grimace? No, it doesn't. We don't need to be getting brutally murdered by Grimace, chat. Okay. Chat, I'm going to go ahead and end it here for tonight. Like I said, I didn't really have a whole lot to do. I am going to be doing some work here after stream, though. This is not going to be like me taking time off to a degree. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send you guys over to Mr. Two Love Trouble. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I know this was a short one. I will probably stream tomorrow. Probably Monster Hunter, unless I have something else I need to do. And then Sunday we have D&D night. So if you guys want to, come check that out. If you've never seen Dungeons and Dragons getting played before, always happy to have you guys. We can definitely explain things if you guys got questions about the rules or how things work. And we usually have people hanging out in the chat that also know. So again, hope to see you guys there. If not, I'll see you guys Monday. Go give Mr. Q Love Trouble my love. He is going to be translating Anime Japan for the next 2 days, and it is going to literally include things like Strange Fate, if that news is to believed, Fate Extra, as well as, again, upcoming news for FGO, so probably something like Ordeal Call 4. But anyways, go ahead and send you guys his way. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Hope you guys have a good weekend, and again, go give Mr. Chubbs my love, and good night.